Atlas, in
Yes.
the hot seat tonight.
And Atlas.
Goes by the name of Atlas the Bookkeeper. How you feeling, my friend?
On to the next topic. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been around for 16 years. In the 16 years that I've been a content creator, I've had many different generations of people who have liked my content. And I've actually gone through many different companies and stuff in regards to making merch and the like. Ages ago, I used to use this website called Cafe Press, okay? And then the more recent one that I used was called Teespring, which now they're not even called that anymore. They rebranded to call themselves Spring. And then they changed their entire methodology of their site to be political. I hate to say that, but they did because of what happened to me. I know for a fact. So I've had merch over the years. In reality, I've never actually had any merchandise to make money. The reason that I originally started getting merch back in the day is because people kept asking me for it. They were like, Phil, would you have merchandise for your fans? Because we'd maybe like a collectible of something of our favorite content creator. And I was actually resistant to it at first, but then people kept pressing me on it and said, you know, we would just really like it. I said, all right. So I went to this Cafe Press website. And I had merchandise that was like some basic t-shirts, some mugs, stickers, and stuff like that. I even still have a Stein that has the old Dark Side Phil logo and everything on it downstairs. I still have it in my cabinet in my kitchen cupboard. So it was cool, but I never really sold too much of it. I think there was like one burst of sales. Like I'm talking, this is like back in 2010 or something like that. Okay. And then after that, I never really maintained it that much. I think someone actually hacked the site at one point. So I ended up just closing the whole thing. Like I didn't work on it. I didn't add new products. I just it just sat there. Okay. I didn't even advertise it that much ever. Okay. When I really got into merch the second time was when I became a full-time live streamer in 2017. Because at that point, I became a lot more social with the audience and people wanted to hang out with me more and have conversations. And because of that, they liked the content. They were like, hey, it would be great if you had merch. And at first, once again, I'm kind of resistant because I don't really know how it's going to work. Teespring reached out to me, okay? This company actually contacted me and said, hey, we see that you're a full-time streamer now. We know who you are. We know about your audience. We know that they want merch, and we'd like to make a shop for you and basically design products. And they did. They actually designed several different products, one of which was the I'm pushing buttons design, which is just like random directions and buttons that looks like it's like the readout from a fighting game. Right? So that was one that they made. They made a couple. They made 2 or 3 different designs for me. But the I'm pushing buttons one was the only one that people ever liked and it like sold. But then what it is, I gave them some logos that I had from over the years and other people designed things for me and I put them up on the site. And I had various levels of success. I think the most successful one I ever had was the logo with the king. It was like a skull with a crown on it. And I did various different colors and designs. People like to buy different shirts and stuff with that design. People really liked certain designs that the fans had submitted and stuff. So again, the only reason I ever really had the Teespring was because it was fan, requested. I didn't make a lot of money on it. I actually had pricing. If I remember, I would try to price my shirts to be around $20, and the profit margin was like $1 to $2 per shirt, depending on the quality of the shirt you selected. So I made nothing on it. Like I think the highest month ever, I made like $300, and that was like because there was real demand. And then after that, it just petered right off, and I made like $10 a month, if that, on it moving forward. So it was never a big deal to me or anything like that. So after a while, I'll be honest, it got dusty. It fell into disrepair, much like my other merch shop did. Didn't really talk about it that much. And then one day, about 3 years ago, I even forget if it was 2021 or 2022, but it was the same year that the whole thing happened with Returnal, where I quit. I quit Twitch. When was that? What year was Returnal? Dude, time flies. Let me see. It was 2021. Holy shit. It was 3 years ago. So that same year that I was playing Returnal, because I always remember that because it was when everything hit the fan all at once. One day I'm streaming and someone says to me, hey, Phil, are you aware that your merch shop is gone? And I was like, no, because I never check it. Like I literally never check the thing because no one buys anything from it and I don't really add new products. So I didn't know that. So I go to look at it and it is gone. It's just like missing, like page not found. So I go to log in and it says, error, contact support. So I wrote them asking what gives. Now at this point, I didn't even realize they had changed their business. They're not called Teespring anymore. They were called Spring. They were rebranding And what they were doing is they were systematically starting to kick people off the site who they deemed like weren't in their own ideology, which is insane to me. I want you to think about that. So what ended up happening in 2021, my trolls formulated this like manifesto package of negative stuff about me. It was like a big, like a reel of the worst moments of DSP. It had the awful jokes from the Dead Space 2 demo from 2010, and it had racial comments from other videos from like 2009, 2010. And they put it all together, and then they said, look, Phil owns a website called thekingofhate.com. He's a racist, and he's a sexist, and he's a bigot, and this is who you have on your site. And they sent that to Twitch, which got me kicked out of the Twitch partner program. They sent that to various different payment processors, various different websites where you can integrate with streaming. And they sent it to Teespring, right? Well, now Spring. And Spring, rebranding and wishing to have a new image, okay, decided on a whim without even contacting me to talk about it that I was not fit for their site, and they removed my shop. Now, I want you to think about this. They created the shop. They created the product. In 2017, they were the ones who recruited me, well knowing about my past. They were okay with it. 4 years later, they decide to rebrand and change their business model completely, and now they kick me off the site, even though I wasn't even doing anything. I wasn't selling merch. You could say, well, maybe you uploaded an offensive product. I hadn't uploaded products in like a year, so it doesn't make any sense at all. Like, what happened, it's just they basically are prejudiced against me for shit I did like over a decade ago. It's absolutely insane that they would behave like that. It's completely unprofessional. And the fact they never even reached out to me to say, hey, we're closing your shop and here's why, or even give me a chance to explain or anything, that's completely unprofessional. They are not a good business to work with. I'm sorry. Whatever they did, again, much like with Twitch changing over the years, when you change your methodology of your business to now be all this bullshit about politics and fucking nonsense, you know, get the fuck out of here. I'm a gamer. All I want to do is play video games. You think I care about your bullshit? So why the fuck did now you're punishing me because you changed? Go fuck yourself, right? Anyway, so I haven't had merch for 3 years, over 3 years, because that was what, April of 2021 is like when all this shit went down, okay? Now, in the meantime, I've looked to possibly get merch again, because now, over the years, people ask from time to time, hey, will you get merch? And I'm like, well, here's why. I don't have it. I got kicked off Teespring with no notice, nothing. And I would guarantee you that if I was to work with another business, it would be the same. And it's not that I haven't tried. For example, I already told the story earlier this year, another business reached out to me. And they were like, so we're a platform where you can have this whole thing for your followers. They can pledge to you and do ongoing subscription content. You could also sell merch. And I was like, I already have a Patreon. I don't really care about that other stuff, but I do care about the merch. I'd be interested in that, right? And I talked with them for about a week about it. And I kept explaining to them, listen, I'm not going to proceed setting up a shop on your storefront or anything until you look into knowing that I'm going to have this online hate mob, this black cloud following me the fuck around. And they're going to come and they're going to harass you if you have products on your site that are of mine, because they've done it already to other businesses. You have to expect this is going to happen. You have to say you're okay with it. Because if I put the time and effort to setting up a storefront, uploading designs, my fans design stuff, and we put up merch, and then you shut it down within a week, you're wasting everyone's time, right? So at first, this person who I was talking to, who you could tell was just a recruiter agent for this company and didn't really understand anything about online trolling, was like, oh, how bad could it be? It's not a big deal. I was like, you have no clue what you're talking about. I want you to go search for me right now on the internet, and you're going to see how many people are A-logging me. And then I want you to come back at me and tell me you're still interested. They never responded again, because they probably went and searched and said, oh, goddamn, this guy is getting destroyed by these really, mentally stunted people. And we don't want that associated with the business. So, and that was it. That was the last time I heard from them. And that was much earlier this year. So all this going down. All right. And basically what happens is now in the last month and a half, things are changing. Right. So I'm doing crossover content. I'm appearing on shows. I'm interviewing people. My reputation's different now. Okay. And people start reaching out to me and I start having conversations. And essentially through a little bit of like a grapevine deal, I was put into contact with a company that really doesn't give a shit, okay? Like, they actually just don't care about this kind of stuff. All they care about is, like, making quality product and making some money. That's it. They don't care about being, trolls on the internet and shit like this. They're just fuck that nonsense. In fact, they even said we're kind of used to it. You know, there's some people who we have on our store that have that, and we don't care. Okay, so I've been talking with them for a couple of weeks, and what we came down to was I sent them a very basic. I sent them like 4 files. One is like the DSP gaming logo from this channel. One was like my 15-year anniversary logo. I sent them like a fighting game logo. Okay, so I just sent them basic shit. It wasn't like anything. This was before I even had the Philomania logo, so I couldn't even send that to them. I totally would have sent that to them to test, but we didn't have it yet. So what they said they wanted to do is basically do a couple samples for me, and they were going to send me a couple free product just to look and see the quality, and we could look at it together on stream. And if we like it, then I would get back to them and say, hey, you know, yeah, let's proceed. Let's set up a storefront. I'll send you more art and logos. Let's get this thing set up. And the way it works is just like Teespring, where you guys will go to that site. You'll browse the different products that are available, the different logos and lines and designs, and you'll be able to choose what you want. You buy it directly from them. They process it. They ship it to you, and I make a few bucks. I don't even know how much. Like, I literally don't even know how much I'll make on each sale, considering the fact I had such a low profit margin over on Teespring. I wouldn't be shocked if it's, again, just a couple bucks on each thing, okay? So, and is it international from what I'm to understand? Yes, but I haven't worked the details out yet, because what's the point of working all these details out until you get your hands on the product to see if you like it, correct? Because I'll be honest, I've seen some companies like this, and, you know, they look good, and their products are very shoddy. They'll send you the really low quality shit, like real thin materials, or, you know, the t-shirts that are falling apart and are in a crappy quality. They don't feel soft or good on you. You're like, do you really want to pay $25 for a t-shirt from a company, and you get it, and the fucking logo's printed crooked and looks like shit? That's happened to me, where I've actually, in the past, years in the past, would get a company, I wanted to make my own shirt, so I would, and then they would send me the shirt, and the whole thing was off. I'm like, what the hell? Like, how'd you screw this up so bad, right? So, we have a couple products to look at today. Two shirts is what they sent me as a starter, you know, starter example. Now, keep in mind, even though they have these logos, it doesn't even mean that they're going to make products with these logos. This was the test, all right? I know for a fact you guys want Philomania. Like, this is one of the things I would absolutely use for product, and then we would see what else you guys were interested in. So we have 2. First is a long sleeve ringer t-shirt. Okay, now, I'm just going to forewarn everyone, when you order these kind of products, they're fresh out of the factory, and they smell, okay? Not like the stinky sock, but they smell like paint. You know what I mean? Like that factory smell. Definitely, if you order anything like this, you got to wash it before you wear it, because you don't want to have that, you know, that smell. I got to wash these for sure if I'm going to wear them on stream, which is why I'm not wearing one today or anything. But it's always been like that. Every time I got custom product made like this, it always had that factory smell to it. You're like, ugh, got to throw it to your washer. So this is a long sleeve ringer t-shirt, all right? And as you can see, the quality of the print, it's actually, you know, it's on the fabric. It's not one of those glossy print companies, because the glossy ones, they do tend to break after you wash. This, it's actually on, look, it's on the fabric, okay? So it looks like it's a pretty good quality print. As for the shirt itself, nice long sleeve, can you hear me? Nice long sleeve shirt, all right? I believe this was a large or an extra large. What? It's a large. So the name of the fabric, it's Bella Canvas, and it says heirloom jersey. So that's the quality of the product. Now, is it super thick? No, but this is the ringer shirt. The ringer shirt isn't made to be super thick. The ringer shirt is supposed to be a lighter fabric. I have another shirt here that actually is a thicker fabric, and I'll show you that in a second, okay? So there you go. Large DSP Gaming. All right. Not to say that anyone's going to want to buy the DSP Gaming logo, but it's just an example of their print quality. And I would argue that's a pretty good print quality. It's dark. It looks good. It stands out. And it's not the glossy crap that breaks up. It's actually, I don't know what they call this, the technique, but it's much better than that other technique. Okay. So there you go. So that's the long sleeve ringer shirt. Now, this is their standard t-shirt. All right. And this is a thicker fabric. I would say this one is more of a standard t-shirt quality, but it's stretchy material. So that might actually be a sell for someone, because some people don't like the t-shirts that are more coarse material. This is very soft and stretchy material. So it's the higher quality stuff, okay? So here's the thing. I sent them a few logos, and they actually made this out of the logo. Okay, now this one is extra large, okay? So it's me as Dan with DSP Gaming underneath. See that? And this is a piece of art that I've had on my streams for years, okay? And now I can use it to make shirts and stuff, right? That's cool. So they took that Dan artwork out of a piece of art I sent them, and they made the shirt out of it, which is pretty cool, all right? So again, that's an example. This is not necessarily something that will be sold. This is an example of what would be sold on this site, okay? Again, this is Canvas from Bella Canvas. So I guess they use this company. Bella Canvas is the company that they use. I'm just curious if it says the percent of materials that it's made. 100% cotton. It's a 100% cotton t-shirt. What about this one? I think they're both 100% cotton. This, okay, the ringer is 52% cotton, 48% polyester. So the ringer shirt is a blend, okay? But the standard style t-shirt is 100% cotton, which is probably why it's the more stretchy feel to it and everything, okay? So there you go. So how does it look? Personally, I like this quality of shirt. This is a comfy shirt to me. I would want a shirt that's softer and stretchier, as opposed to one of the shirts that's more like the coarse material. And honestly, a lot of the shirts you buy are the coarse material. I don't know why. I like this one better. The print quality looks great to me. Again, it's, you know, it's printed on there. It's not that glossy style print that's probably going to break in the wash right away. This is probably going to last a while. So I like it. But again, you got to wash it before you wear it. You can smell the you can smell the print, and they're always like that. Every company I've ever ordered always smells like that out of it. So there you go. So that's the two examples, all right, of t-shirts that we'll have. And I'm sure they have many more products. I don't think they just do t-shirts. You know, they're going to probably have a lot more. Now, personally, I like these, okay? Personally. I don't know if you like them. I don't know if you'd be considering, hey, I'd be interested in buying something if you had some merch. Let me know what you think, all right? But personally, I like them, and I'm going to get back to them and be like, yeah, I actually really like the first product you sent. Let's talk further about, you know, setting up the storefront. I'll get them some more logos and stuff to work with. Definitely, I want to send them to Philomania, but I'm basically going to dive into, like, my artwork from over the years that I own. I'm all this artwork that I've been using forever that I can now make product out of, right? And I think maybe what I'll do, I'll bring back some of the classic designs. Like I said, the King's Skull design was the one that was the best seller on Teespring. So maybe we can bring that back and then have new designs as well based on all these new things, these new things that have been going on. People are just saying, yeah, Philomania hoodie. I'm sure they have hoodies. I'm sure. I'll check, but I'm sure they're going to have all this stuff, you know? And then, I mean, the key is I got to get the storefront set up. I got to have an account I can log in. I can check, you know, give them all the stuff. And then they're going to have their team work on this. And from what I'm to understand, they're going to do it for me, which is good because I don't really have time to be designing products now. I had to do all that myself on Teespring. Like, they didn't do it. They initially designed my original product line, but then they moved on. And I had to do it all myself over the years. If these guys can set up a good product line for me. And yeah, well, okay, so let me ask you guys. Out of all I want to get your opinions right now live. What, besides Philomania, all right, what other logos would you guys like to see as product? The Level 1 podcast has its logo. You've seen it on the screen, and you see it right now as the thumbnail of this video. Do you like the Level 1 podcast logo, and would you like to see that? Like, here it is. Would you like to see that on a shirt or a hat or something like that? Maybe what I should do is I should get a Level 1 podcast mug for myself. So as I'm doing the podcast, I'm actually drinking from the Level 1 podcast mug. I think that would be pretty cool. Yes, people are saying yes. Some people are saying yes. Outside of Philomania and Level 1 podcast, what else would you like? Me as Ken. So the artwork of me is like Ryu or Ken or something like that. Okay.